What if the most powerful weapon in the modern world isn't nuclear, isn't military, and isn't even visible to the public? What if the real weapon is something people use every single day without thinking about it? Money itself. Because when reports emerged that Donald Trump had signed an order targeting Canadian-linked financial flows, what followed wasn't immediate chaos, public collapse, or dramatic speeches. Instead, something far more unsettling happened: silence. And in financial systems, silence is never peace. Silence is fear calculating its next move. Markets did not crash instantly. Governments avoided strong statements. Officials chose their words carefully. But behind closed doors, something shifted. Emergency phone calls were made. Risk teams ran scenarios late into the night. High-level meetings were suddenly scheduled without public explanations. At the center of this growing unease stood one name that quietly began circulating among financial insiders: Mark Carney. Mark Carney is not a man known for panic. He is a career crisis manager, a central banker who has navigated financial systems through some of the most violent economic storms in modern history. If someone like him feels alarm, it is not because of headlines. It is because of implications. Because he understands something most people don't. Modern money doesn't collapse when it disappears. It collapses when it stops moving. And that is the core of this story. Not whether Canadian money was frozen in a literal sense, not whether a specific account was blocked on a specific day, but why the mere threat of financial restriction could ripple through global systems so quickly. Why the idea alone was enough to change behavior. Why trust, once shaken, cannot simply be restored by reassurances. To understand that, we have to understand how modern financial power actually works. Most people imagine money as something physical: cash in a vault, gold in reserves, assets neatly stored away, waiting to be accessed. But that image is outdated. Today, money is less about possession and more about permission. Permission to move across borders, permission to clear through settlement networks, permission to be exchanged, converted, leveraged, and trusted by institutions that operate far beyond any single nation's control. History shows this pattern repeating again and again. Sanctions introduced as temporary measures become permanent tools. Trade conflicts framed as negotiations escalate beyond control. Financial instruments once considered neutral become strategic weapons. Each time, trust erodes a little more. Each time, systems fragment further. This moment is not just about Trump or Canada or Mark Carney. It is about a global shift where money is no longer neutral, access is no longer guaranteed, and financial power is openly political. These shifts do not cause sudden collapse. They cause slow fractures, invisible at first, devastating over time. Modern money is not backed by gold or physical assets. It is backed by belief. Belief that systems will function tomorrow as they did yesterday. Belief that access will remain open. Belief that rules will not change overnight. When that belief weakens, no central bank can simply print it back. That is why this story matters. Not because of what may or may not have been frozen today, but because of what has been made possible tomorrow. Because once financial access becomes conditional, stability becomes temporary. And those who understand risk do not panic over events. They panic over precedents. The real danger is not frozen money. It is frozen faith in the system itself. And once that faith breaks, the consequences move faster than any government can react. So the real question is no longer what just happened. The real question is what happens next, when the next freeze comes faster, broader, and closer to home.